Hey, welcome to the Two Dudes Talk Movies podcast. I'm Drew.
I'm Cam.
And for our holiday special, we have a very special guest with us to talk about the 1988 film Die Hard. And with us is Nolan Fogarty.
Thanks for having me on.
What do you do, Nolan? What are your hobbies?
What do you do?
Who are you?
My name's Nolan Fogarty. I'm a junior here at EIU. I'm a finance major, and I'm big into movies.
Yep. Me and Nolan went to high school together, so I don't know why I asked you, who are you, like I didn't know who you are, but yes, thank you for coming on. We always like to get a wide variety of people on the show to talk about movies that are either bad or just dog crap. So, but we picked Die Hard.
Either bad or die crap.
Dog crap, yeah.
Dog crap.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we picked Die Hard because it is a big topic of debate, especially during the holiday season, on whether it really is a Christmas movie. And we will get to that later, but now we will talk about our general thoughts. First of all, I think this is one of your favorite movies of all time, correct? Among them?
Maybe not super high on the list, but it probably cracks the top 100.
When was the first time you watched it?
Like 4 or 5 years ago, and then rewatched it like 3 years ago, and then that was the last time I've seen it. So,
Do you usually watch it during Christmas time a lot?
no. I think the first time I did, just cause, but no. I think the second time was like over the summer or something. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And kind of rewatching it for the show, kind of what were your general thoughts on it? What were your favorite aspects of it?
I think something I really like about it is like in contrast to like other 70s and like 80s action movies is like how much John like struggles on his own and like needs the help of Sergeant Powell and Argyle, and he can't really do everything himself, and like we see him getting injured quite a bit throughout the movie, and that's not usually something you saw at that time. So that was like one of the things I liked the most about the movie for sure.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Cam?
Didn't like it. About or too many characters you couldn't like form a connection with one. Like you get the main one,
Yeah.
John, but
Yeah.
Bruce Willis's character. But I don't know, I just didn't really care about what was going on. It just seemed like a lot was going on as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I will respectfully disagree with you.
You can disrespectfully.
Disrespectfully, I disagree with you.
Okay.
And I really like the movie because of how much is going on, I feel like. Because I like how, well, one, I can agree with you that the amount of terrorists there are, I wish we would have gotten more time with them to kind of understand how many people there are. Because people just kind of pop up, and I don't really know, like, there's nothing distinguishable between all of them. Like, there's the long-haired guy named Carl. And then there's his brother, which I didn't even know was his brother until he freaked out about him being dead. And then there's like 7 other people just walking around. They all speak German, so they're all like this. You know what I mean? I just wish they kind of spend more time with them. But I like how they only spend the time in like this main tower the entire time, and how it is like this enclosed situation because it's fun, Cam. I don't know. I found it to be fun just because he has to like weave around the elevator shafts and like kind of like go in the vents and everything and all that. I do agree with Nolan, though. There is a lot of times where John gets hurt, which I like how they implemented the glass and everything. Yeah. But I don't know. I just thought it was a fun movie. I remember it being a lot more like stuff consistently happening. Like I was a little, especially when the FBI show up, it's kind of like
When was the first time you saw it?
probably, I don't know, sometime in middle school. I remember I watched it on TV and like I liked it. I remember watching it thinking like, oh, I can see why this is iconic. But I do kind of agree with you. There is kind of that spot in the middle where it does kind of, I don't know. I guess I'll ask you, Noel, did you think, and both of you, did you guys think that rewatching it, I remembered it being like he kills this guy, a couple minutes go by, he kills this guy, a couple minutes go by, this guy, this guy. You know what I mean? Like he picks them off one by one. But then it's like he kills the first two guys, and then another hour goes by, and that's when he actually like kills more people. I don't know. I thought it was a little more action packed, but what did you think of like the consistency of the action scenes?
I definitely did remember like more stuff happening back to back. But I mean, I do appreciate like spacing it out because like if he kills.
No, I didn't hate it. I don't know. I didn't like the movie, so if it was all right. I like that it was Carl or Reginald Bell Johnson. It's someone I was familiar with because he's from
Matters.
Carl Johnson, Carl Winslow. So that was cool. I didn't really care if it was Bruce Willis or not. Is this like his known movie, Bruce Willis's? Okay.
Yeah. This was his first like big movie, and then because I watched Pulp Fiction a couple weeks ago, and I forget that this was
Like
6 years. Yeah, I watched it again.
Why?
I don't know. Well, it was for a class, but I usually don't even watch the movies for the class. But I thought, it's Pulp Fiction, I might as well.
Okay.
And I forgot how like long that movie is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I find it crazy that between this movie and that movie, it's like 6 years. So yeah.
Wait, which one this came out first?
This came out first.
88? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. I do think this movie in general reminds me. Now I'm thinking about like John Q. In have you seen it?
With Denzel Washington.
Yeah, it's like John Q's about Denzel's kid. Like, yeah, he gets hurt while he has like a seizure or something, like playing baseball, and the doctors are telling him he can't. They can't give him the surgery because of his insurance. So Denzel's character just kind of holds up the hospital, holds everyone hostage. It kind of reminded me of that because they were going back and forth, the police officer and Denzel's character. But in this one, I don't know. I think because there was too many hostages, too many terrorists, a lot. I mean, it felt. I don't know, it just felt like a big mess. Just so much. I don't know, just so much happening and so little at the same time. Like you brought up that it took like an hour for him to kill in between kills. But I feel like in between an hour it was dragging, and then it was too conflicting for me to care about. I don't know. It just wasn't.
I do say I think it could be like 10, 15 minutes shorter. I feel like there was kind of some open space. I think because I remember I was watching, I was thinking to myself, wow, there is a lot going on because now we're jumping from the cops to back to John, back to the hostages, back to the terrorists, to the news station. You know what I mean? And like, which the news station kind of just serves as a way for Hans Gruber to figure out that John is married to Holly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only relevant thing that it has. But yeah, like there's a lot going on throughout the movie. I think it does a decent job of kind of spacing it out and like kind of like, we're at the news station for a couple seconds, we get over here. The FBI stuff I just found to be kind of stupid. It's just like they get here and then it's like the one guy from the Goonies, I think has anybody here seen the Goonies?
I have, but
you know what I mean?
I couldn't tell you. I was in the Goonies.
I can't remember. But I thought as soon as they came on, it was just like, now I just know a bunch of stupid crap's going to happen, like them turning the power off, which then opens the vault, and then them flying in on the helicopter and everything. I guess I'll just go ahead and ask, like, what do you guys think of kind of the FBI's, like, introduction to the movie? Because I thought that was, like, that's my least favorite part of the whole movie, is them being in it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't know if this was, like, necessarily, like, the first time this happened, but I feel like it was probably one of the early movies to, like, show, like, hey, like, the FBI busting in places like gung-ho isn't necessarily the best way to do it every time. And like with the four guys like that tried to get in there initially, like
who just get shot and there's light on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Like they have the blowtorch trying to get into the doors. I feel like they could have just shot the glass and got in a lot quicker. But I feel like they were just kind of in the way. And then the like tank type
and they start shooting at John, and then like he jumps off the ledge with the like fire hose. Is that when that happens?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That I like that. Like I like the hose thing because like he's literally hanging by a thread, and he has to like shoot the glass with his bloodied feet. Like that's probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. Although I find, like we said before we started recording, the lead up to it where John's just shooting in the air for the hostages to get down. At least it's more like a refreshing character in the 1980s because at that point we had like Sylvester Stallone and like Arnold and everyone who was like indestructible. And this movie is completely different because this guy's like getting just beat up. He's bloodied. He looks like crap by the end of it.
Yeah.
What did you, because I know you talked about that, Cam, what did you think about kind of that different action hero kind of style for this movie?
Like the show is
Him like getting beat up consistently, like snot rolling down his nose during a fight, rather than just this big, like, bulky guy just shooting nukes at people.
that's a good point. When did Rambo come out?
Like 82.
Yeah, so I think that's a good point that you brought up, that it showed, I guess, the human aspect of it, because you can make these movies and have this big, bulky. Never mind.
Cam.
These buff guys just taking 1,000 bullets and not being fazed by it, but to show like he's still a human and that they're not immortal is a good part of it.
Yeah.
I think because I'm thinking about Rocky now, because he had that kind of godlike complex after the first one. He didn't lose after the first one, right?
No.
Yeah.
Not lose that. Well, he did, but like not by the end of the movie. Like
Okay.
he never. Yeah, he always won by the end of it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about that now. So yeah, they used to like, I don't know, they used to make it seem like the main character was like untouchable. So I think this was a good start for what we see today.
Do you like how foul-mouthed he is? He's just kind of like a crude language kind of guy.
Man. Curse, that's why I took a minute. But yeah, I mean, it's not like abnormal for them to be cursing. Like it's not a children's movie. Well, let me think. When did this come out? Did this come out around Christmas time?
I would assume so.
I think it came out in June.
Seriously.
It would make sense as a blockbuster.
July.
Why?
Yeah, July.
Jesus.
It came out in July, but it takes place in Christmas. I don't know. Maybe that's what
That's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, so I was gonna say if it came out during Christmas time, families might think, "Oh, let me take my kids to this."
Oh,
and yeah,
Jesus.
but it does make sense that this is coming.
It's rated R, right? It has to be rated R.
Gotta be guns, blood. Yeah, so the F-bombs and stuff, they kept dropping. I'm like, geez, dude, you like it's.
He's a cop from New York, Cam. Of course he cusses like that. Come on.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. He just kept dropping them. I'm like, I'm not a big narc when it comes to like, at least shouldn't curse that much, but like,
I feel like there was a lot of times in the movie where he's like cursing, he's like yelling, and I'm just like, dude, they can probably hear you. Like, cause when he's like yelling, he's like banging on the window. I'm like, dude, like, cause well, to be fair, there are like 30 floors in that whole tower, and I think the terrorists were like cooped up like on like, the first? And he's like all the way up to the top, so yeah, that's granted. I guess I'll lead into this. What do you guys think of kind of the terrorists in general, like how they're portrayed, along with Hans Gruber? Because I liked him. I liked Hans because I thought he was just like a good, charismatic guy. And like I said before, I wish we kind of got to learn more of the terrorists. Like
I don't know, like the head guy, and he kind of like did a little bit more, but I feel like every other one, like John shot him pretty fast, and you don't really know anything about him and anything like that. And then I don't know. I mean, I feel like they were okay. I mean, as far as like henchmen go and action movies, they were decent. But I don't know. I would have liked to know, like, not necessarily like their whole life, but like a little bit more about them. Like, I don't know if there was some sort of scene, like the cliche scene between like John and one of them, and he's like, "Oh, like let me tell you about my life and like why I do this."
Yeah.
But
oh, sorry, keep going.
But like, I don't think we need that with every character. But like, maybe like Carl, since he was kind of portrayed as like the main one, maybe a little bit out of him would be nice.
I think the actor for Carl is a stuntman.
Really?
I feel like he's kind of let down by that kill. I don't know if you guys thought the same. I know you just hated the whole thing.
Yeah, it sucks because I lost interest early. But
Oh, Cam.
I think what happened?
Yeah.
I did my setup, I did my routine, but I don't know. I just didn't really care. But Carl was a is a Russian ballet dancer, so that's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Came out of nowhere, but I don't know if it's him, but it sounded like one of them was from Sweeney Todd, who had like the voice.
Oh.
I don't know if that means anything. Not means anything, but like, am I thinking of the right person? Because oh wait, let me see.
Is that Alan Rickman?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
is he?
That's Hans Gruber. I know by that picture of him now, or well, he's dead.
Yeah, he was
like-
like Sweeney Todd.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I know, for real.
Oh man.
I do have to say, when he kills the guy, the Jeffrey Dahmer looking guy, I found it to be the stupidest decision to like put him in the elevator and put him down. Because if he could have just hit the body and he could have just been like surprising them, like you didn't have to like let him know that you have. Yeah, like I mean, I get that's his character, but I was kind of thinking like, wow, you probably didn't need to do that.
Yeah, I guess that could have added that like dude effect, like, oh yeah, show him that you're,
I'd do the same in that situation.
put a body in an elevator and push it down so your enemies could see what's going on.
So yeah, Cam, I know you mentioned that you thought personally that the film didn't have a lot of different like spaces. Like, did you feel like that he was in the same space throughout the whole time?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask you, Nolan, like, did you think that the film had a wide variety of spaces where John McClane was having to fight people or like weave around them? Did you personally like? Did you notice that throughout?
I mean, I did a little bit. Like, I think sometimes action movies like get too big and they're like in one location and then they're like moving around and maybe they come back, maybe they don't. But I do like when movies like stay in like the same location, especially action movies. Like, it kind of keeps it contained. But I did feel like he moved around a lot. Like, he was like kind of in the lobby area where they were having the party start out. Then he goes up top, and then he's like on the roof, and he's like moving around in the ducks, and then like it shows like other characters where they're at. Like, they're kind of in that room where Theo was trying to get the vault open, and then they're like in the conference room, and then maybe in Ellis's office at one point, I think is
Yes, they were.
there were. But I do like when like that moves around, and then like you're not like, it wasn't too confined, but it wasn't like too open.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I liked the amount of space because I like the films where they're taking place in like one central setting, and so I liked how they kind of kept flipping back and forth the places that we've seen before, and so you kind of get like a sense of space. Like, he's on, even though it's like a huge tower,
Yeah.
you still feel like you're aware of how far they are from each other. And I just like how the different ways that John McClane kind of weaves around them. Like, he has to go in the elevators and he's like on top of it. He has to like literally like climb, like use the gun as like a way to, like when he had the gun against the thing and then like broke and he caught the thing, which by the way, that's really like unrealistic for him to catch himself on like a rant. Like,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I liked it. I kind of liked how they kept coming back to those familiar spaces.
I think I kind of contradicted myself several times when I started this. I didn't have a thought like ready to go, so I'll like make it make sense at the end. But I do like when movies are in the same spot. But I don't think I think I was wrong about that, because now you're like naming all the places they were in. But I think it just kept going back to the same people, and it was kind of confusing trying to keep up with everything, because you said you have the people out, you have the police outside, you have the hostages, terrorists moving around, and then this guy all up and down the tower. But I'll say like the whole recap thing. Yeah. But in general, I do like when people are in the same location. But I just don't think this was I don't know. This it's not the genre for that.
Gotcha. I was gonna ask you guys, did you think because you mentioned the FBI, did you think that having a lot of time with the cop and like their kind of process of having to solve the situation, would you have much preferred if it was just John versus the terrorist the whole time, or do you like that break to go to the cops throughout the movie?
Kind of going back to what I said earlier about how like John isn't like the other action heroes of that time. Like I think it works that he has to talk with the cop to get through it. Like if it was just him versus like the terrorist on his own, then it would kind of been like your more typical movie of that time. But I do like how he had to incorporate other characters to help him out to kind of not necessarily like change the genre, but I feel like it did a little bit.
I wish you would have. I think I would have liked if it was just like a one-on-one type of thing, or like one John versus the terrorist type of thing. See one guy battle everyone. But I do get what you mean, that it'd be kind of typical and like everyone's already doing the same thing. Maybe that's because I've seen more of those movies. I'm more comfortable with it, more familiar with it. So this one was just probably, I don't know, like I don't see a lot of this. Well, actually I do, Batman, because he uses the cops sometimes. But that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I think seeing the one on team versus team thing, I don't think the police coming in was, I didn't care for it that much.
I liked the Powell, was that his name?
Yeah.
I liked his thing with John McClane. I just felt like we spent just a little too much time with like all the other police officers, and then when the FBI came in, I was just like, really? Like, I was kind of like, we gotta spend more time with them, like doing stupid things. But I like the relationship because it's like they've never seen each other before. He's literally just like connecting with him on the walkie-talkie through like a voice, and we get to learn a little bit more about each character, especially Powell, because we learned that he was a cop, like on duty and everything, but now he's kind of like behind the desk kind of cop, because he shot a kid years before, and which comes back later when he shoots Carl at the end. And I feel like having that like minor character arc within this already, like everything's going on kind of thing, kind of helps kind of build that relationship more. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You haven't seen the other Die Hard movies, right?
No.
You have.
Yeah.
Does Powell come back? I cannot remember.
Does
In the second one?
I think it's a.
I know it's a
third.
cameo. It's like a little like. Okay. I was about to say, and I guess that leads me into my next question. Do you guys think that this movie needed a sequel? I don't think so, but I can understand. Like, I love the sequels besides the fifth one. That one's 5? There's 5, yeah.
It's bad.
But I like it because John McClane is, I don't know, like I find his movies a lot more appealing than the Terminator movies, because like the main guy in that is just so like stone cold, and I guess it's more of like the characters around him in that sense reacting to him. But John McClane's so like mouthy, and he has like so much to say, and he's very expressive that I feel like it's just so fun to watch him. But I can definitely understand if this movie was just by itself. I guess, like, what do you guys think about, like, do you think it needed a sequels?
I don't know about need, but I mean,
Glad to have them.
Yeah. I don't know. Like the second one felt like kind of like a remake of the first one. Like he's basically just at the airport.
Yeah.
He's kind of in one spot, and it's like, oh, now here's Han's brother that you got to fight.
Was it in the second
I
one?
thought that was the second one. Or was that the third one?
I think that's the third one.
Oh, okay. Well,
The second one's terrible. Okay, it's not terrible. It's just,
all right.
it's the same thing, but at an airport. And the title's literally like Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
That's like,
It's terrible. I didn't like it.
that's cheap.
But I like the third one. Like he's finally doing more.
Samuel L. Jackson is in the third one.
I like Sammy J.
What were you saying? Sorry.
He was doing more stuff, and like it kind of is like throughout New York, I think is where they're at in the third one. And I don't know, like it didn't feel like the first and second one. It was kind of more involved plot, and I don't know. But yeah, the fourth and fifth one probably didn't need to be made. Could have probably stopped at a trilogy.
Yeah. If they did, that'd be a lot better, because he looks pretty old in the fourth one. And my last question before we go into the whether it's a Christmas movie debate, do you think Bruce Willis is a good actor based off this performance? Like, in terms of, like, showing emotion, everything like that?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to tell because this was like the first action movie, first big movie that he did. Yeah, so this was like the first opportunity for like a large audience to see how he was. I didn't necessarily think it was bad. I mean, it wasn't great. I mean, it was good for the time that it came out in. But I mean, I don't really know like what he did between that and like Pulp Fiction. But then I thought in Pulp Fiction, like his performance like got quite a bit better than what it was in Die Hard. I'm not really sure what he was doing between that time, but I mean, based off this movie, like for action roles, like yeah, like keep casting him. I thought he did fine, but
I feel like him in Pulp Fiction and him in this movie are pretty similar in terms of how he just like carries himself. Because like he's kind of just like the foul-mouthed guy in Pulp Fiction too. And like what do you think of his acting? Because I'm basically asking to see like if you guys would classify him as a good actor. Because there's people who are good for action movies, like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Really?
I don't think Keanu Reeves is a good actor outside of action at all.
What else is he in? Yeah, he was in that one got
the Matrix, but like it's not, that's action, and it's not like he is very emotive ever. I mean, he's a swell guy. I love him to death, but
yeah, Keanu Reeves isn't a bad. I don't think he's bad. He was in I haven't seen these, but I saw Knock Knock. That was all right. That got a lot of bad reviews though.
Oh, that movie's bad, Cam.
It was all right to me. I don't.
Well, I remember watching his little thing where he's like yelling at him. I'm not gonna say what he says because it's like terrible, but I found that I laughed so hard when I watched it for the first time.
I think I know what he said
because that's funny. He's like, I ordered you pizza. I don't even know what he said. I don't even know, but I don't know. And in terms of like Bruce Willis, what other movies has he been in besides like this and other action movies?
Over the Edge.
Okay.
Over the Edge.
All right. All right.
I'm looking at
wasn't Over the Edge. Was he the raccoon? You don't know
RJ. I assume the R was raccoon. I don't know, but I'm looking at his filmography now, and yeah, it's all pretty much action movies. He did The Expendables.
I guess Unbreakable was pretty good.
Yeah, he was good
in that one. And Sixth Sense.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah,
I don't know why I forgot that one, but I don't know. I don't think he's very emotive. Like I don't think he's very like if he's not angry, I don't think he's that emotive. You get what I mean?
I think older people like that should start doing those dad type roles. I have like this, like Steve Carell when he did the thing with Timothy Chalamet. And he was like, what's it called, Gold Boy or
crap?
I think it's Beautiful Boy.
Beautiful Boy. There it is. Well, he's on drugs all the time. Yeah.
Did I say Glad Boy?
Yeah, Golden Boy or something. No, I don't even know.
Yeah, I think he should start doing those type of movies because he's kind of up there. He's done. You know,
he's isn't he like has Alzheimer's and dementia?
He's got dementia now. He's done.
Wow, thanks, Nolan. That's upbeat.
Maybe he could still.
Maybe he's watching. He could watch this episode and enjoy what we're talking about. But anyway, we can transition into the big topic of discussion. Do you guys classify this as a Halloween? Jesus Christ, as a Christmas movie? Nolan, you can go first.
I would. I know that's kind of controversial, and I know I saw a clip of Bruce Willis saying it's not a Christmas movie. Like, I think about, like, It's a Wonderful Life. Like, for that movie, like, it's about, like, 2 hours long, and, like, the first hour and a half aren't even on Christmas. Like, I don't know, like, what season it's in, but I know there's, like, a scene in summer and then, like, kind of fall. But, like, the last 30 minutes, it's Christmas Eve, and that's, like, what people kind of talk about. They talk about, like, one of the better Christmas movies. And, like, this one takes place on Christmas Eve, and, like, they're at a Christmas party, and, like, I get it's not really having anything to do with Christmas. So, I mean, I'd say this is, like, a non-traditional Christmas movie, but I'd still say it would be just because it took place on Christmas Eve. Other than that, like, I don't think it'd be.
I mean, I don't, because I know a lot of people probably like think that Christmas movies have to have like a lesson learned at the end. You know, all the like stupid crap that all the like ones that are forgettable, like the Santa Claus, stupid, like those movies. But I would put it down as a Christmas movie because the whole plot revolves around the fact that it is Christmas time. Like, the Christmas party is what brought John to the tower. That's the reason no one else is in the building. That's why that's why the terrorists decided to do it at that time, because no one was going to be there besides them. And there's always, like, there's Christmas stuff throughout the entire time. So, like, if it was like, oh, it's Christmas time, and it's like you never see anything Christmas through the rest of it, Edward Scissorhands, for example. Yeah. We did that over Christmas time, but watching it is really not a Christmas movie because it's Christmas for, like, 20 minutes of it, maybe. But I would. I mean, Jesus. Like, it's a better watch than half the other Christmas movies that you have to watch. Like, what? Rudolph?
Oh, okay. Polar Express. What are your thoughts on Polar Express?
I haven't seen it in quite a while, but I mean, I'd say it's one of the best
Tom
Christmas
Hanks
movies.
voice acting the entire time.
I'll defend that movie with my life.
Oh my God.
But this is not a Christmas movie.
Why? Why not, Cam?
This, I get like, it has the hints of Christmas around, but I think if it was like, I don't know, like I can't. For one, there's not enough Christmas stuff going on. Like I get it takes place around Christmas, and there's like a whole thing like just because it takes place around in December doesn't by default make it a Christmas movie. But like all this, like I don't know, if you have like some elves running around or like some people in costume, like I don't mean like the typical, corny, Rudolph in the sky hint, but like for when it came out in July. So
That was just bad planning. That was bad planning on their part.
maybe if it came out in December, that would make me push towards it more.
They couldn't wait till December. They had to put this out now.
Yeah, that's one.
Plus, it probably made more money in the summer anyway, too.
Yeah. I get they had the Christmas party, but that didn't even look fun. It looked so business casual. Everyone's dressing up, and I mean not dressing up. Everyone's wearing.
Everybody's doing cocaine, bro. What do you mean?
Man, that's not Christmassy.
Well, Ellis was doing cocaine. I don't know about anybody else.
What else?
Was it just the fact that there wasn't a lot of like Christmas stuff going on besides the party itself?
It wasn't festive either. Like I get like you don't have to make. Yeah, I guess I'd say that.
Okay.
I don't have a big defense. I don't have a big reasoning why it's not because I didn't care. But this is not a Christmas movie.
Also, I was gonna ask this question: Why did the terrorist? So the Christmas party's happening then, and then it's like, weren't they gonna be gone for like the rest of Christmas? Break, or was it? I don't remember because my thing is like, why didn't the terrorists like go when the party wasn't happening, when it's just the main guard, and they could have just had the whole tower to themselves, unless the Christmas party was the only time that building was going to be like pretty much empty. Besides that,
I mean, I'm sure it was easier for him to get into it while it was
Christmas time.
Like the guards seemed to be like less defensive.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a really reason they needed the people in there, unless they thought they were going to get caught while nobody was in there, and they wanted like hostages to have as leverage.
That's true.
And they needed the FBI to cut the power so they could get the vault open. So I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't have done that if there weren't hostages.
That's true. I don't know, because like I feel like if they did it like with no hostages there, they could have been in and out in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like because John McClane kind of screwed the whole thing. He took the detonators, which I thought was a cool little thing. Like he has what they need now, so now they're hunting him down there. I have to say though, the scene that always makes me laugh is the scene where Hans is like walking by himself, and then him and John like have a little chat, and he's like acting like he's a hostage.
Yeah.
His accent so bad in that his American accent. Where he's like, oh God, oh God.
You mean the one when he gives him the gun and then he has no bullets?
Yeah. I don't even. He's like, oh God. And I was like, oh Jesus. I get he's probably like acting bad on purpose, but like that guy plays Snape, bro.
Yeah, I was looking at this stuff on here.
That was his first movie. Give him a break.
Rest in peace. His first movie.
Snape died. We did say that.
No, Rickman's first movie was Die Hard.
He ever acted in?
Yeah, I think so.
Bull.
I think so.
Look it up.
Look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up. Oh, look that up. Was he more of a play guy?
He might have been.
I was about to say.
Who am I looking up?
Alan Rickman.
You saying this is his first movie?
I'm pretty sure it was his first movie.
This one came out.
Do you think Jonathan Malkovich could have been there? Jonathan Malkovich. That's his full name. John Malkovich could have been the main guy in this. I feel like it'd be
no, but I did see that Frank Sinatra was first considered for this.
Why?
I don't know why, but thankfully he didn't take it.
I think John Malkovich could have done a good job. He did
as Hans, or
as Hans.
Man,
I feel like he did a similar thing in the Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood. He kind of did a similar thing where he was had a good voice and was kind of threatening that way.
Right. This was his first.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Man.
Wow, that's kind of shocking because like he's pretty well regarded. Although I can only name this and Harry Potter as the movies that he's been in. You got anything?
No, I don't.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's all the Alan Rickman facts I had for today.
Yeah. He came in here knowing that he was going to do that. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, I would consider it a Christmas movie. Just in my personal opinion, if the movie takes place around Christmas time and the Christmas aspect of it kind of like is integral to the overall plot, I feel like it is a Christmas movie. And there are, in my I can't talk. Oof. Personal opinion, there are a lot of like Christmas stuff like sprinkled throughout. But I mean, I can get what you're saying where it's like not, and what you said, not much of a traditional Christmas movie because of all the blood and all the like everything else going on around it. But I guess I'll ask Nolan, what would you give this movie out of 5 stars? For the Letterboxd.
I would have to give this movie, and what I did give this movie, be a 4.5 out of 5.
4.5? There you go. What would you give it, Cam?
Give it a solid 2.
Jesus. Oh, my God.
Maybe I'll rewatch it because you guys are talking about it a lot. Well, obviously.
You'll love it. Watch it again. You'll love it.
Maybe I should because there's a lot of final stuff going on. So
I'd give
it.
I'd give it a 4.5. 4.5? Actually, I'd give it a 4. I give it a 4 out of 5. I would give the third movie in the Die Hard series probably like a 4.5 out of 5, just because that movie. You need to watch that movie because that movie's really good. And I don't think you even need to watch. Do you really need to watch the movies before to watch? Could you just watch it by itself? Oh, you kind of do actually, because the twist at the end on who the guy is.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of don't know what is going on, but
I don't know.
You should give it a watch. It's really good. But yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. And yeah, anybody got any other thoughts about this really good movie? This really good action movie?
I feel like I guess I was contradicting myself about how I said it was moving a lot, but it was in the same spot the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It moved a lot, but it felt like it dragged. I think that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Dragged as in it just took too long to get to a certain point. I think I just wanted to clarify that.
Would you recommend this to people?
No. I will ask though, is this like a must watch? Because you guys cared about it a lot. Is this like something you have to watch before you die?
Okay. Not before you die. I don't think this is a movie you need to watch before you die. I think I don't know, it's one of those like iconic movies that like you should watch. I feel like it's a cool movie. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, I definitely recommend this to people. I mean, I don't.
Before they die?
Classic?
Not before they die. Maybe before they die hard.
Oh, that's...
Come on.
All right. Sorry. I think that's all the time we have.
That's good.
We're done. But anyway, yeah. You would put it as down somebody?
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
You put it under, like, would you say it's a classic?
It's kind of a classic.
Okay.
Maybe classic action movie. I don't know about a classic movie overall.
I agree with that. But yeah, that has been our holiday special. I didn't even mention that I was wearing this hat, by the way. I don't know. I found it, and I was like, I might as well wear it.
I walked in on him, and he had it on, and
the headphones were kind of jacking it up. But yeah, that has been the holiday special for the Two Dudes Talk Movies podcast. Nolan, thank you for coming to watch it. We really appreciate it.
This is our last episode of the year.
It is.
We're going to go on break for about 2 weeks, something like that. Not long enough.
Yeah, but that's for sure. But yeah, we will see you in January, where we will be discussing more movies, and more videos will be on YouTube. And leave comments on the videos, especially this one, so we can do movies that you guys want to talk about. So cool. We will see you then. Thank you, Nolan, again, and we will see you next week. I'm Drew.
I'm Cam.
I'm Nola.
And we will see you later. See ya.
Bye. Have a good break.